Action that brought out in many a French village arms from the barn and rifles from the straw. Action that rekindled the flame that had never at any time showed signs of dying. In Paris, over the rumble of German trucks, behind our locked doors, we heard the forbidden voices. Through our shutters, we spied the ambulances rolling through the city from distant Normandy, and knew that what we heard was indeed the truth. The time had come, we felt, for us to come into the open, and the FFI prepared for action. The FFI, French Forces of the Interior. After 4 years, Paris must be purged by her own people. Her pride was such. We knew the Germans would react quickly, they always did. So as Paris had done before in her long history, she cut down the trees, raised the barricades, sighted the guns, leveled up the paving and the cobbles, and made her center into a fortress, our fortress. Before the Allies reach Paris, she must be ours. The time is now. Meanwhile, in Paris itself, in the shadow of Notre Dame, we too fought for a city, our city. To fight tanks with rifles, you need not only courage, but faith as well. Those arms we did not possess, we won from our enemies. We had the faith all right, but not much else. Help would have to come soon. From what the radio told us, it seemed that every town in France was being liberated except Paris. Dreux, Melun, Orléans, everywhere the tables were being turned. Everywhere seemed in the news except Paris. Hitler's orders were to blow up those beautiful bridges of Paris and leave the city of light a desert. But Hitler had lost control in Paris. After bitter fighting, the Nazi governor, worried about extricating his troops from Paris, had asked for a truce. Time to breathe, time to round up. But the terms of the truce were vague and the spirit of revenge high. It wasn't long before the Germans threw aside all pretense and came at us with all they had. For us now, the choice was victory or extermination. A long way from Normandy. To fight tanks with your bare hands and a few grenades. Well, it's wonderful what can be done when you have to. For Paris, it was one of the finest hours in her history, but only fine if it could end in victory. But then, at last, to the outskirts of Paris, they came. In the city's center, all was dart and battle, but in the suburbs, well, the long-awaited hour had come. People waiting to return to their homes within Paris. The army waiting. General de Gaulle waiting. For the fight from without is anything but a walk in. Street by street, French and American soldiers battle their way towards the Seine and the heart of Paris. Each building is a hornet's nest of snipers, and often doors must be broken down with tanks. Behind them, crowds of people creep forward until they are in sight of the Invalides. And it is as though the sleeping Napoleon under that dome is holding his breath for Paris. House by house, street by street, square by square. Then, suddenly, down come the barricades, not to cede to the enemy, but to let in the relieving tanks. Soon, those tanks are beneath the Eiffel Tower. And after 4 years, those who have held our city in thrall taste the bitterness of defeat. Yes, they are through. And then in Paris, well, see and hear for yourselves. Yet, even at the height of rejoicing, we find that our city's agony is not yet over. As General de Gaulle reaches the Hôtel de Ville, a sweep of bullets. Beneath a hail of lead from rooftops and upper windows, the crowd ducks for dear life. Paris must purge her own soul. Her pride is such. And everyone who lies there in the Place de l'Hôtel de Ville knows that it is all just a question of time. Before the blast of the tanks, the German sharpshooters cannot hold out for long. But while they do, it is hell. Yet, in the end, they must be overcome. One by one, they are shot or caught, and the shooting dies. At long last, for Paris, the agony is over. North over the Seine, the Allied forces are rushing forward into Belgium, so that country too tests the fruits of liberation. North to capture the V1 sites, so that London too can find relief, to complete the tale of two cities. Final defeat for the enemy is to take another winter. But for Paris, the moment is now. And, you know, we felt we had the right to rejoice because, after all, had we not ourselves played a part?